Welcome to Sales Presentations That Sell. So, whether you're a business owner, consultant, or a B2B sales specialist, whether you're new to sales or already experienced in sales, so this is the place to achieve success in building better relation with your clients, increasing your sales, and leading a successful professional career. I'm Prashant. I'll be joined by Mr. Krishna. So we are partners at Growth Aspire. We have 30 plus man years of experience in sales and have worked with various industries from startups to Fortune 500 and have also trained and coached hundreds of business owners and professionals to help them win more sales. So this is the second of the four-part video series to help you make those sales presentations. See, in the first video, we covered details on what is exactly changing in the B2B sales and also what is that one important factor you must do to succeed in B2B sales, especially in today's market. And we also shared you the framework on sales presentation. So if you haven't watched that video, I would suggest you to click the link above and watch that and come back here. I'll be waiting. And in this video, what we are covering is the first step of our sales presentation framework, which is how do you really relate to your buyer, especially when you're presenting solution, how to relate to your buyer so that you can get their attention. So now, before that, let's recap again. How does sales presentation skills increase your sales winning ratio by 3x? So what we have seen is one of the topmost skills required to succeed in one's business or in sales is the ability to make presentations that really motivate and inspire your prospects to buy from you. And also in today's B2B sales, there are two important trends one must be aware of. One is about access to information and another is about increasing level of competition. Now, because of these two trends, what's exactly happening is most of buyers are not really giving their attention to somebody who is really trying to propose a solution. And what also they are doing is they are comparing without knowing what your solution is to some low cost competitors and start negotiating on the price. And this is what we hear from many of our clients also, that many meetings happen but very few sales happens, or even if sales happen, it will be at the prices they don't wish to. And that's because they don't have a solution which helps them to win against these two powerful trends. And our goal is in this workshop is to give you those critical skills to help you make successful presentations. And our sales presentation framework is actually developed to address these very trends and give you the necessary tools. Now, if you apply these tools, you will have an ability to actually engage with your prospects much better, build the trust, and eventually double and even triple the sales conversions from whatever you're doing now. So let's dive in and understand the most important topic, which is how do you relate to your buyer situation and why this is very important and how you can really apply in your own business. So we have shared a template so you can download from the link below so you can follow as we go along. So recently I read a quote which says, people will learn from you, listen to you, buy from you, and even hire you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. So this is very important. As you can see, your prospects are going to buy only when they feel understood. And relating to buyer situation is nothing but making your prospects feel that you understand their situation. And also there are other important things which is required when it comes to relating to buyer situation. Why it is so important is, as we said, to get your buyer attention today who is not willing to give you that, one of the primary tool what we have is how we relate to their his situation. And secondly, if you really want to present your solution, you must create a need. Otherwise, most people what they do is they come with a general presentation regardless of customer specific needs. And when you do that, what happens is most prospects will likely think, okay, what you say makes sense, I agree with you, but our situation is different. I'm sure you might have presented your solution to many of your prospects where you found you have a very good chance, but your prospect did not really take any action. And what might have happened mostly is like this. So, prospect would have felt that whatever you're saying makes sense, but his situation is different. So, that's why connecting to a situation is very important. Now, how do we really connect to that situation? So, it's a very simple three steps we propose. One is you must explain the present state what the buyer is in terms of what the company is, what's their usage pattern, or in some industry insights. Second is you must be able to tell what is that pain or challenges your prospect is going through so that you have a solution to address that. And third and most important is what is that final aspiration of the goal your prospect has. So when this pain is resolved and how your solution helps. So this is as long as you are able to connect to these three, you are able to relate to your buyer. So this can be done whether in 5 minutes or 45 minutes presentation. And we have a couple of case studies to show how you can do this. So before that, let's see how to do this and what real benefits you get by following these steps. So in any sales presentation, as you start off, it's always good to start with an introduction and set the agenda and share what are the couple of three benefits your prospect is going to get. And immediately, what we suggest is to give a brief about your prospect. So in this brief, you are going to cover what you know about your prospect, what is the product or service they are really selling, and always try to use the words they have used to describe their business or whatever the research you have done about them. And after that, you share about their situation of the prospect. When it comes to situation, especially the solution what you're selling, how is that being addressed now? What is that they are using? What kind of solution are they using? So, and what is the need for a change? So these are the first two things when you do it. You are establishing a connection with your prospect that you know his business very well, and also you have understood there, you have done a good amount of research to study about their business. So that's why connecting to your present state is very important. And once you connect to the present state, what you must do generally is to start explaining about the problem what your prospect is going through. So especially these things you must have gathered during your initial meetings or done some uh, research very well that exactly what is that problem they are facing. And it's always important to use the same words what they have used to express their challenges. And once you share the problem, also share what is those solutions or the future state your customer really is seeking to address these problems. So how does these two things help? By articulating a problem and solution, how really it helps? So one is when you articulate the current pains and challenges, it immediately takes that prospect is going to take an action. We must understand that your prospect is going to take action only when there is a pain or urgency or they have a challenge. I'm sure if your prospect or anybody says that they don't have challenges, it's very unlikely that he will buy your solution. Most of them will like to wait until they are facing some real pain or urgency. So it's important to, that's why, connect to the challenge they are facing. And also, when you highlight the current pain and challenges, what you're doing is you're really connecting to your prospect and you're building that empathy. That means you really care about the problems they are facing. And what this helps is it helps your prospect that you are there to solve the problem and not really to sell a solution. So, this is the most important. You must make your prospect feel that you are there to solve the problem. So, if you can do this, I would say 50% of your job is done. So, this is why you must articulate the problems very well. And once you articulate the problem, also tell what is the state if they solve this problem. So if you are able to do this, it helps your buyer feel that what you are doing is to really help your customer solutions. And it also, you are building that your solution is matching the needs and goals of your customer. So as I said, you must connect to their problems and also connect to their future state. So this may take 5 minutes or 10 minutes depending on the kind of problem you are facing, kind of customer or the solution you are addressing. But if you are able to do this successfully, and then one of the most critical thing is to do is to ask for confirmation that whatever you have shared matches, aligns with your customer. So that is the time you are creating a stage to present your solution. And this is also a time where you can confirm with your prospect that is there any missing parts. And most buyers will correct you if they really have missed out anything. So this is the time you can simply ask to your customer that before I share our solution, I would like to know if I am able to relate to your situation or you would like to add anything. So just a statement like this will help your customer feel that whatever you are going to present is really useful to them. Now then there is one more case which generally happens is sharing insights or reference story. This is very much useful if you are presenting a solution which is your customer has never used, or you have an innovative solution, or if your prospect has some real doubt that what your solution is going to help him. So these are the times where you might start with sharing an insight or reference story. Because why this is, sharing an insight or reference story helps that what you are saying is very relevant because there is some industry trends which is happening, and also it helps to build that authority that you know their business very well, and finally it opens up your customers to listen to you. So the best way to do this is you can start by saying, okay, let me share what's happening in the industry and share an insight about how the industry is migrating and you have a solution. Or as I said, if your customer doesn't believe that your solution solves this problem, whereas you have solved a similar problem to another customer, you can share a story saying that, let me share how a customer who was facing a similar problem as you, was his problem was solved with our solution, and give a brief about the reference. So this again helps to build that curiosity in your customer that he is willing to listen. So now let's dive in how we can how we have done with couple of case studies. So this is one simple case study where we presented to one of our client. In the beginning, as we see, we shared a brief about the customer, what we know about the customer, what products they serve, and who are their customers are. And then we connected to their present situation of what exactly their sales cycle is, sales process, sales team structure. This gave confidence to customer that we know their business very well. And immediately after that, we shared the problems they are facing in terms of sales quotas missed, too early pricing discussion. And then we shared what is that real solution they would be having, or what's that results they will have if we solve these problems. So this really, at this time, we asked a customer that are we aligned with what they're understanding? And our customer was happy to say that yes, we have captured their understanding very well. So he was now ready to really listen to the solution. And we also shared some trend of what's happening around the B2B sales like this, which also helped them understand that yes, there is something they need to do. Now there is one more case study. Here is another customer. We helped them create a presentation. They are a school transformation solutions and want to promote the same to the school admins. So after initial understanding of school challenges, so what the relation manager is started presenting by first connecting to a situation, what the school is, what is that real problem the school has, and then he articulated a couple of real pain points, what the customer is going through, and then what is that solution the school really want. In this case, they wanted to improve their passing rate by 200%. And finally, he wanted to get a confirmation that his understanding is correct. So this was helping the very easily to connect with most of the prospects he met, most of the school admins he met. So before doing this, he was immediately going and presenting his solution directly. And what used to happen is most of them used to say that, okay, I already have this solution, or I don't need this. Whereas initial short discussion and understanding and treating like this helped him get a lot more time to explain his solution. So as we said, how does an opening presentation like this help? One is your sales presentation will be much more aligned to your client's issues than general details. And most of your customers feels listened and feels understood. And also it increases your chance of success as 90% of competitors out there, we can assure you that they don't make this effort to make clients feel understood. What instead they do is they start giving a generic solution. Whereas what is required today is a specific solution addressing specific needs. Now, obviously, doing a presentation like this has its own challenges, and some objections we generally hear is, okay, I'm serving similar customers, similar products, so I will directly present my solution. This is something which people want to take a shortcut and do. Or some people also say that, okay, my buyer is giving very less time and he insists on sharing what solution we have. So they want to really know the pricing. So here again, as we said, buyer thinks that he knows everything. So he is directing you to share whatever he wants. But we need to understand that if you really want your buyer to listen to your solution, that will only happen when you connect to his exact situation. And without connecting to the buyer pain points or the future state your buyer wants, it is not going to motivate him to listen to your solution. And to really connect to his solution, you must have asked good questions or done a good research on buyers during your earlier meeting. So that ends the video too. So we have covered a very important topic on how do you really relate to your buyer situations. So in the next video, what we are going to do is how do you present your solution? Because finally, if you want to stand out different from tons of competitors out there, you need to know how to present your solution. So that is what we are going to do in the next video, and where we are going to teach you some very important concepts on how to present your solution so that they immediately are going to give you those orders which you really are looking for. But for now, I want to hear more from you. Let me know how relating to your buyer situation helps in your business. Do you think connecting to audience is really useful before sharing your presentation? So scroll down and share your comments. And also, if you find this video useful, do share with your friends, colleagues from any of the social media links below. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you.